Good afternoon, it's meteorologist Michael Fecka. Welcome back to the 2:30 afternoon weather streaming show we do here every day during the work week and on weekends. We stream it out to all of our streaming platforms as well as to Facebook Live and YouTube. So if you're joining from either platform, please feel free to leave us a question or a comment. Hopefully I'll be able to address everything as I go through the forecast here, but if not, I'll go through at the very end and see if I can answer anything individually for you. But let's get started here with a look at our headlines. What are we tracking out for the next couple of days? Well, today it's been very chilly, mostly cloudy. We've even had some areas or occasional flurries moving in across portions of the tri-state, and a lot of that has mostly stayed to the northeast of Evansville, but we've even got some flurries here in the Evansville area this afternoon, and we could still see a couple of more flurries here through the rest of this afternoon before everything kind of tapers off into this evening. But we will remain mostly cloudy up until we get into tomorrow, but it will also remain on the chillier side for the start of the work week, but that's out ahead of our next warm-up back into the 50s by the middle of the work week. And then we're also tracking out the next best chance for rain moving in here Wednesday evening and into Thursday. So I'll break down all those details for you here, but let's take a look outside right now and show you what's going on. And look at the loop of the radar there. You can see just some of those occasional flurries or even light snow showers clipping portions of Pike, Du Bois, and Perry County. Most of that staying off to the north and east, but we could still see a few more of those light snow showers or flurries continue to trickle in from the north there. Not really expecting much of an impact, but especially if you're in Du Bois County or even out towards Perry County, I wouldn't be surprised if you caught maybe a little bit of a dusting on grassy or elevated surfaces, but most of this will continue to dry up overnight tonight and into the overnight hours. But looking at our cloud cover, will remain mostly cloudy here overnight into early Monday morning before the clouds begin to break up a bit through Monday afternoon. It looks like we may still be stuck in the cloud cover across far eastern portions of the tri-state for our Monday, but in general it will be a quiet day, and then clouds will officially clear out of here by Monday evening. But taking a look at those temperatures, because that is definitely the bigger story here. It is very chilly out there, and temperatures have only warmed up into the upper 20s to right around freezing so far, and I don't really think we'll warm up much more than this through the rest of the day today. So topping out in the upper 20s to around freezing across the tri-state, 32 in Madisonville and Greenville, 28 in Evansville, Newburgh, and Lewisport, around 27 up towards Oakland City. And to make things even chillier, we do have a strong northwesterly breeze with gusts anywhere between 25 to 30 miles per hour. So that is making it feel a lot colder than it actually is. It feels like the teens for the most part across the tri-state. Feels like 17 in Henderson and Evansville, 15 there in Owensboro. So hopefully if you're outside today, this morning, or this afternoon, you're bundled up with multiple layers. And looking at the next 12 hours, our actual air temperatures will continue to drop down out of the upper 20s to around 30, down into the upper teens to around 20 overnight tonight. And the winds remain on the breezier side overnight, even into Monday morning here. We could still see gusts upwards of 20 miles per hour, even into tomorrow morning. And with temperatures dropping down into the upper teens overnight tonight, it's going to make it feel like potentially the single digits above zero across portions of the tri-state, waking up early tomorrow morning. So you definitely want to make sure you're wearing multiple layers as you're headed out to work or for school. I know a lot of us probably threw that winter jacket in the back of the closet over the last couple of weeks because we've been so warm, but you definitely need to take the time to dig that back out because it is going to be cold here again through tomorrow, but we do start to warm back up. But taking a look at the forecast for our Monday, we're looking at partly cloudy skies. Temperatures will top out in the lower 30s by Monday afternoon. And looking at the temperature trend here through the next 7 days, we'll climb back up to around average by Tuesday. And that's because we'll have high pressure sliding off to our south, and that'll redirect the winds from the south as well. So that's going to help warm us up, and then we're back up above average there by the time we get into Wednesday, topping out in the mid-50s. And then our next weather maker moves in here Wednesday night into Thursday. That'll bring us the chance for some widespread rainfall. That'll cool temperatures down slightly for the day on Thursday, topping out in the lower 50s. But it looks like temperatures will still continue to climb there through the end of the work week and into the first half of the weekend. So we'll be topping out in the mid-50s again by Friday with plenty of sunshine. Friday looks like the pick of the work week there. So if you want to do anything outside, plan it for Friday because it looks like it's going to be a gorgeous day, warm temperatures, and plenty of sunshine. And then headed into Saturday, it looks like we'll see partly cloudy skies and temperatures even continue to warm into the upper 50s to lower 60s across the tri-state before a cold front moves in overnight, and that'll take our temperatures back down into the 40s again for the second half of the weekend. And looking at our rain chances here, we will stay fairly quiet through the first half of the work week. Our next best chance of rain arrives with that system moving in by midweek, and then there's that cold front overnight into Sunday. That may bring us a chance for a few more sprinkles or an isolated shower, but really the best chance for widespread rain here is going to be Wednesday into Thursday. So let's take a look at that on our longer range European model here. We'll have that warm front kind of slide in overhead of the tri-state Wednesday night into Thursday morning. That'll initiate the chance for some of those showers, and then the actual low pressure system will slide in overhead by Thursday morning and eventually off to our east through Thursday afternoon and into Thursday evening. So it's going to linger around here throughout the day on Thursday before clearing out Thursday night. And then high pressure builds in just to our south there for Friday. We'll see winds returning from the south, so that's what's going to warm us back up. And you'll notice plenty of sunshine out there for the end of the work week. So getting excited for that. And then looking ahead to the weekend, staying dry there on Saturday, but then that front approaches for Saturday night. And as of right now, some models keep it dry. Others show that chance for a little bit of shower activity. So I did put that 20% chance there Saturday night and into Sunday, but not looking like a widespread rainfall event. But looking at that rainfall for Wednesday into Thursday, we're still looking at anywhere between 1/4 of an inch up to an inch across portions of the tri-state. Lesser amounts northwest of Evansville. The greater amounts are going to be south and east. So across portions of western Kentucky, you have that best chance to end up in that 1/2 inch to 1 inch range. So that is good news because we are still fairly dry for this time of year. We know we've had a lot of snowfall, but it doesn't equal a lot of liquid equivalent precipitation. So some drought conditions even still persist across portions of southern Illinois, but unfortunately this time around looks like they're missing out on most of that rainfall. But here's a look at your 7-day forecast. Just to kind of wrap all of that up in a little bow for you. Still very frigid through the start of the work week. Remember, wind chill values waking up tomorrow morning will be down in the single digits above 0. So you need to bundle up, bring out that winter jacket, the hats and the gloves again. You'll need it for another day before we start to climb back up around average for our Tuesday, and then above average there by the time we get into Wednesday. And then temperatures hang out in the 50s Thursday and Friday, even with that rainfall moving through, and then maybe even topping out in the lower 60s in some spots for our Saturday before another front begins to move in, and that'll cool us down for the second half of the weekend. So that is what I've got here for the forecast. Let me go ahead and check out some of your comments. It looks like we've got Ricky Brown saying hello, good afternoon to you too. Same thing to you, Suzanne, and Laura is watching from Dawson Springs. Thank you for joining us. We always appreciate it, but that is all I'm seeing. So I am going to hop off the live stream and I'll send you guys over for 14 News at 5, which is going to be another streaming edition due to NBA on NBC. So the same way you're watching this, you'll be able to watch our newscast, or at least an abbreviated version of it for our streaming platforms at 5 o'clock. So I'll see you there again, and then I'll be back here on all streaming platforms once again at 9 o'clock for our weather show, and then back on air tonight at 10. So until then, everybody, have a great rest of your day, stay warm, and I'll see you again soon.